I don't think I have much of a trace of Newcastle anymore. I moved from Newcastle when I was 12 years old to the Lake District, and then I moved all over England after that. So, but I'm always really happy when people tell me that because it was a real challenge for me in the beginning of my career to learn how to do an American accent, and there was a period of time where I felt a bit hopeless, where I was really struggling and wasn't sure if I was going to be able to ever master that, which was going to be a big stumbling block in my dream of having a career in American film.
Well, good job. So
Thank
I got to
you.
talk about this movie though. When I walked out of this film, it felt like I had a great sense of adventure. Like I could go conquer the world now. For you as an actor, is that kind of the feeling that you got when you actually just read it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was really drawn to the sense of adventure and the prospect of being able to go and experience this environment of the jungle that's always been fascinating to me. I always hoped that I would get to experience that. But also, much more significantly for me, it became apparent from the caliber of work that James has always done through his career, coupled with how magnificent the script was and what an extraordinary opportunity playing this character obviously presented. It just seemed to me like the opportunity I'd been waiting for and working towards my whole career, and just was so grateful and felt a very heightened sense of responsibility to do it justice.
Now, I was talking to James earlier, and he told me about how kind of scary it is a little to be there because one of the grips had actually gotten his neck bit by a snake. What was it like for you to kind of be in that environment?
I mean, there were certainly some challenges, but again, I just adored it. I mean, an enormous fan of the natural world, and feel like we've all become so disconnected from it. It's really, there's a medicine that comes from being in that world, and a quieting of the neuroses that we all feel to one degree or another in modern life. And so I loved it, and wherever there were challenges and hardships, it always helped the film because whatever limits the amount of acting that is required on any given day in terms of for the actors. I think for the crew, some of those challenges were different, and weren't as beneficial to the process of achieving their jobs. But for me, anytime we're playing, we're supposed to be starving and dehydrated and hot and tired, and we were starving and dehydrated and hot and tired. So it just eliminates that entire aspect of having to act, because we were just experiencing it.
Now, my last question I got to ask about playing Percy because this is a man who had to choose basically between his family or his dream because they couldn't be together.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the central conflict of the film and something that I could really relate to and was very interested in exploring. It's it's been tough for me in my life. I work 100 hours a week, 51 weeks a year, and I'm 37 now and have not started a family yet, and that's directly because of that same conflict that I experience in my life. And so I could really relate to it, and yeah, it was very cognizant early on of like the amount of pain and sacrifice that must have caused Fawcett, and the sort of folly that all of that sacrifice was rewarded with failure time and time again, and this seems like it's a real tragedy. But then on the other hand, I think what mitigates significantly that sense of tragedy in the film is just the happiness and joy and sense of peace that he got from being in that environment and the purpose that his life had